Hey everyone, it's Derek Boyko back with another draft. Return to Ravnica again here, actually, with another 8-4 for draftmagic.com. And this is our opening pack. It's not all that exciting. There's basically a Sky Knight, an Arrest, a Stab Wound, and like a Splatter Thug. Out of all of these cards, the two best are clearly Arrest and Sky Knight. Now, if we take Sky Knight, we're not necessarily showing that, like, Azorius is open. Obviously, the guy next to us would take a rest at that point. But what we could do is we could just take Splatter Thug. There's absolutely no Rakdos cards here except for an Ash Zealot. So I'm going to take the rest. Because I'm running out of time. But I feel like taking the Splatter Thug is actually very good there just because we could force Rakdos at that point, and we're not really passing any Rakdos cards. But I could still see maybe splashing an Arrest. In this pack, it is easily a Blood Foray Giant. This is one of the biggest creatures in the Rakdos deck. Over, again, basically nothing. There's a Militant, a Roustabout. I really wish we took the Splatter Thug now, too, actually, because the Roustabout might show the guy next to us that Rakdos might be open. But I'm very happy taking a Blood Foray Giant. And then we get a Frostburn Weird, which is one of the best creatures in the entire format. Or there's an Axebane Guardian, which would be very good. These decks are always awesome because they're usually 4 or 5 colors. And if you can get a bunch of them, they're pretty sweet. It's probably not better than Frostburn Weird. This card's good in Rakdos, good in Izzet. It's good in Azorius. This card's just all around very good. So I'm going to take that. Could be one of our 2-drops for a Rakdos deck. Out of these, there is a Pyro Convergence, which is like a gimmicky deck I kind of want to try. I don't think it's good, just because it's really, really slow, but it might be decent. Otherwise, there's a Roustabout and a Rune Wing, I guess, if we end up some sort of Izzet aggro deck. I don't really like this card that much. Even Fishers are fine, but they're just not great in this format. It's okay. I think I'm going to take the Roustabout, though. Try and cut off that Rakdos to the left of us. And then basically a bunch of nothing again. A couple of Azorius cards that are going around. But I'm going to take another Roustabout here. Some Selesnya with Common Bond. There's still some Izzet cards here. I think we want to get the guy next to us in Izzet if we can. So I'm just going to pass these. Deviant Glee is deceptively very good. Basically, this card, it doesn't seem that good. Unholy Strength usually isn't. But when you're playing it on an already bigger Unleashed creature, and then you're making it even bigger than their blockers with the Trample, it ends up being a lot better than you would think. So I'm okay taking that here. Then we get either like a Dark Revenant, a Long Legs. I really like Jailbreaker, but I don't think Jailbreaker is very good in Rakdos, because you don't really want the Guild Gates in your Rakdos deck. So I guess I'm going to take a Long Legs here. There's a Rage Mutt or a Launch Party. Launch Party, again, not a card I like all that much. Rage Mutt's okay. Maybe we just take the Rage Mutt? I don't even think you want this necessarily in your Rakdos deck, though. 3/3 is not that big. I guess I'll take the Launch Party. This might be bad signaling. At the same time, signaling isn't actually that important, because you're only getting 1 pack from the person to the left of you. You still have that full 3rd pack to fill out your deck. But I'm going to take the actual slightly stronger card over the random signal. Splatter Thug Wield. I was considering first picking that. Oh, that's awesome. A bunch of cards I don't want to play in a Civic Saber. This card's very good on Frostburn Weird. It's decent with the Unleashed creatures like Splatter Thug, making it a 4/3 first strike's very good. Making a 3/2 regen guy is very good, so I like Saber. It's also a 1-drop for this type of deck. Bunch of cards I don't want to play. I guess I'll take the Key Rune. So Mind Rot is a card I do want to discuss quickly. The Rakdos decks in this format, you don't really want to Mind Rot, just because the last thing you want to be interacting with is their hand. You want to actually be interacting with the cards that are in play, and Mind Rot just doesn't fit your deck strategy very well. This card Wield. That's weird. Nobody wants to try that. I guess I'll just take the Crasher. I like having 1 Crasher in this type of deck. So we have a fairly decent start to a Rakdos deck. Not that interesting, mind you, but These decks can be very good. I might also splash this Arrest. Seems very unlikely, but you never know. Alright, awesome. So there's an Abrupt Decay here, which is worth, I think, a full ticket. Not worth taking. There's a bunch of green cards. The only card we don't want to really play against is Healer. Charm's okay. The pick is very obviously a Thrill Kill Assassin. It's the only Rakdos card in the pack over Spawn, anyways. And a 2/3 Death Touch on turn 2 is actually very good. So we'll take that. And then we have a choice between Volatile Rig, Annihilating Fire, and Dead Reveler. Dead Reveler is very good. Rig is also very, very good. I'm sure it's fine in Rakdos. My real question is, do I want the Fire or the Rig? And I'm not actually sure. This card is above the curve for a 4-drop. And it's a Trampler. We don't really have a lot of removal to let it go through. It doesn't work with Civic Saber. Something to keep in mind. Not that important, though. I feel like Rig probably is pretty good in this style of deck. But I'm actually going to take the Fire here. We're going to want our tricks. We don't really have time to be wasting with Underworld connections. And we want our opponents actually paying their life. So I'm just going to take a Splatter Thug. And then there is a Shred Freak over nothing. Cobble Brute's actually not that bad. 5/2 is pretty huge. Now, it does sort of die to every other, 2-power creature. But when you start mixing it with stuff like Deviant Glee, removal, just random things like that, it's actually not that bad. It's probably better than a Goblin Rally anyway, or a Racketeer. Awesome. I love Trader's Instinct. This card is actually insane in this format. Let's see. A bunch of cards I don't really care about. Out of these, the cards I don't want to see played would be either Armory Guard or Phantom General. Out of those two, the General is probably going to be worse for us. So we'll take that. I guess we'll take that. Didn't really get anything back, but I wasn't really expecting anything back. Out of these, we don't care if they play random 6 and 5 drops. So we could either hate the Apparition or play the Racketeer, which might actually end up being needed to be played. So I guess I'll take the Racketeer. I don't really want a second Racketeer though, so I think I'm just going to hate the Armory Guard. And a bunch of other cards we're not going to play. I could hate the Guildgate. Some sicko might play this, I guess. I guess we're okay if we're playing any of these cards. Let's just take the Guildgate. And Electrickery over Teleportal. I might actually play a Teleportal. This card's very splashable, and it does end the game in Rakdos pretty well. Yeah, let's take a Teleportal. That shouldn't be that late. Bunch of cards I don't care about again. Take the Mizium Skin, which I think is highly underrated, actually. And good. So we have the start to a good deck here. We're definitely not playing this first pick Arrest. That should have just been that Splatter Thug, but it wheeled back anyway. I feel like everybody's just sort of in Azorius and Selesnya around us, so we should be able to get a bunch of cards this pack. Oh, there's a Foil Chemister. Is that worth splashing? There's nothing else in the pack. There's a bunch of bad Rakdos cards. The most playable is Pursuit of Flight. This card's actually kind of sweet. I mean, if we're planning on splashing Teleportal anyway, maybe we want this. Otherwise, I'm taking Pursuit of Flight. Yeah, let's try it. I can get a little greedy. And then there's another Teleportal. Jesus. So I could take a Guildgate here. I don't really want it. If it was the Izzet one, I would. Again, it's Pursuit of Flight over an Izzet card. I guess I'll take the Teleportal. That might have wheeled, honestly. But this card's actually very good. So I don't understand why that was still in the pack last time. Excellent. So we have another Thrill Kill Assassin. Again, just a very good 2-drop. Okay, well I'm not taking the Teleportal this time. I think the pick is pretty easily a Trader's Instinct. Otherwise, there's like a Sewer Shambler, I guess. Actually, maybe Lobber Crew is good enough. I like Lobber Crew a lot. We don't have a lot that combos with it, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instinct's pretty good. It also works pretty well with Cobble Brute. I already have one. I like Lobber Crew a lot. No, I'm going to take the Instinct. That's a tough pick. Bunch of cards that don't matter. I don't really want the Promenade, because I have better things to do in my turn 2 and turn 3. So maybe Rakdos is drying up. Guess the card I would want to see the least played is Dramatic Rescue. Then we get another Deviant Glee, which is pretty awesome. There's another one? Would I play 3? Probably not. It's very good on Splatter Thug. It's very good on all my creatures. Well, I'm not going to play this Dark Revenant. The card's very bad. But maybe I just need the creature? Cobble Brute. And then we got our Pursuit of Flight anyways, which I don't think I want. I don't think I want another Cobble Brute at this point, though. Didn't see any Izzet Guild Gates, so maybe we're just cutting all the Izzet cards. In that case, I have 14 creatures. Making this guy into a 7/4 is pretty decent. This is sort of all in, but it's very good if we have a Dagger Drome Imp in our deck too. Take a Batterhorn. I actually like this guy. Sphinx. Those teleportals are so late. Card's very good in the right deck. So we have a couple cards to cut in this deck. Probably cutting Batterhorn. I could see cutting a Crasher. Probably just don't need that effect. This deck's very all in. It's like creature enchantments the deck. Maybe we just cut Civic Saber. It's not that exciting compared to the Glee. And we only have 1, 2 multicolored cards. 3, I guess, 4. This is probably what the deck's going to be. Let's double check. So we're playing all of these Glees. All of this garbage. Maybe not Pursuit of Light. Let's find out. I don't like Racketeer, but it's probably okay here. Might not want Batterhorn. Probably don't want that. So we have a Chemist and some Teleportals that we could still play. Alright, let's get all this stuff over here. I don't think we're playing any of that though, because it's too hard on the mana. And we don't want to be playing an Izzet Key Rune. So we have 22 right now in the deck. Let's figure this out. So we have 15 creatures, a lot of which are 2-drops. Some Trader's Instincts, a Launch Party, a bunch of big creatures. I could see a Pursuit of Flight. That gives us 4 creature enchantments to make all of our guys really big. It's really bad against creature removal, but we get to just sort of race them with all this. Instinct them, burn them out with Launch Party, Annihilating Fire, Trader's Instinct. Yeah, this is probably pretty good. I don't really like the Racketeer much either, but we need 3-drops. 15 creatures should be enough. I could see running the Crasher though over like Pursuit of Flight. I don't really want a 6-drop in this deck. What I really want is another 2-drop and just run 16 lands. Actually, I don't know if I can do that. I definitely don't want to play blue at this point. Just didn't get the mana fixing. Civic Saber would be a little overboard. That's like 5 creature enchantments at that point. Batterhorn probably isn't great. over... Maybe it's better than this guy? He's just too hard on the mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 16 red. So 9, 7, but we need black earlier. 8, 8, I guess. We have double red, double red, double red. A bunch of mono black. Or we only need one double black. I kind of like 8, 8 here. I don't know where I got those numbers. There's one blue, one green card, I guess. Okay. 8, 8, 16 lands. And yeah, not much to talk about. I guess we will see you in round 1 with our Creature Enchantment Rakdos deck.